Hey there, I'm Lindsay Lyman. After 12 years at Amazon, I learned a really powerful truth. Success doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Are you telling yourself things will get better when? When the project ends? When you have a different boss? When the economy improves? The when trap keeps talented professionals stuck for years. On this podcast, we're done waiting. I'll show you how to stop postponing your success and get the salary and title you deserve now, without working crazy hours or sacrificing your sanity. If you're ready to transform your career without starting over, you're in the right place. Hey y'all, congrats on making it through the first quarter of 2025. We are doing it a day at a time. Things are crazy and busy in my world. I'm in the process of moving and decided let's move and launch a new program in my coaching program all at the same time, because that's a good idea. Spoiler alert, I would not recommend it. But I'm so excited about this new coaching program offer. I did not want to wait for me to get through the move. So it is coming in the very near future. If you're not on the wait list to be one of the few people that get in, make sure that you go to lindsaylymancoaching.com/waitlist. Link is in the notes here so that you learn how can you hire your own one-on-one career coach, less than $100, not have it be another meeting, have coaching on demand, unlimited resources. It's going to be incredible. I cannot wait to share all the details. And full disclosure, my decision to launch this new coaching program while I was moving is all part of what I've been really seeing as themes and habits with people and what I've been trying to practice and live myself. But most of us, through various aspects of our lives, fall into what I call the when trap. Okay, when things are different, when the time is right, when things change, when something's happened, then we're going to go and do these things. Don't take away from this, be crazy, be irrational, just go willy-nilly. But I want to talk about the three biggest when traps I see that are keeping us stuck in our career. And these three things are actually in our control. So for our next series in this podcast, we're going to talk about this when trap. We're going to dive into the root cause of it, why it's totally normal. I'm going to give you my framework of how do you get out of the when trap that actually works. I'm going to give it to you very high level. This is a lot of what I'm launching in this new program offering through my coaching program. But I also want to give you a few of my favorite tips and tricks so that you can get started today to not feel stuck in it. So let's look at what are the three biggest reasons your career is stuck around these when traps. So the first one I see is we're waiting for when the time is right. Y'all, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with clients and with friends and people in the corporate work setting who know it's time for a new job, either because they're bored, they've maxed out on learning and growing, or it's just a terrible work environment and they deserve better. But people are choosing to stay. Again, fine. You're allowed to own your choice. But here's the thing. The reason they're waiting is they're waiting for when the time is right, when the economy's better, when there's less layoffs. Or it's like, we're going to wait until next quarter, or we want to wait until the new year. We want to wait until this bonus comes through or this stock vests. Cool. Again, not saying go out and make irrational decisions, but there's never a perfect right time. Because the belief this is the perfect right time, it's just a thought. It's not factual. You could believe in your core gut. You could commune with the universe, with God, to do all the things, to talk to all the people and be 100% confident this is the right time and go and make a decision, and things outside of your control are still going to happen. It's the right time. It's just a mental construct. It's a belief you're choosing to have. You're allowed to, but what most of us believe, because of how your brain works, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, is it's not the right time. We know logically there's no such thing as the right time, but if that's true, that also means there's no such thing as the wrong time. Here's another way I see this. We're waiting for the right time. We're waiting for the right time as to when we should talk to our manager about a promotion. Maybe we're going to wait until we've been on the team for a year. We got to wait for the right time. Maybe we're going to wait until we get through yearly reviews or after we deliver that big project. Or once another person on our team has been promoted, then we'll start talking to them about it. Remember, believing this is the right time, it's a choice. You're allowed to believe it right now. If you're not choosing to believe it on purpose, you will continue to believe this is not the right time. And your brain is so good at what it does. It is so smart. It will continue to find reasons as to why this is not the time. And that's okay, and you're allowed to do that. But then let's stop complaining that we feel stuck, because we're not actually stuck. We're choosing to stay. Again, there is zero judgment for me in why people are choosing to stay in these hard environments. I get it. I've been there myself. I've made that choice, but I didn't feel stuck in it. I acknowledge, no, I'm not stuck. I'm choosing to stay in this because I want to wait until this thing happens. I'm not using it as my excuse. I'm not afraid. I've chosen where I'm at, which means I don't complain about it, which means I don't freak out about it, which means I don't feel stuck and blame everything around me. It's me choosing to stay in this environment. Okay. So reason number one, you're feeling stuck in your career is you are believing you've got to wait until when to do something. You believe there's a right time. The second when trap of being stuck in your career is
quick interruption. If what you learn on this podcast is helpful, this is just the beginning. Your next step is to go and schedule a coffee chat, and we're going to dive into your specific situation. You'll leave knowing a few things you can try right away to get unstuck. And no, this is not a sales call. My goal is to help however I can. If I think coaching can help, I will tell you about it, but I'm currently on a wait list for new clients. Click the link in the show notes or go to lindsaylymancoaching.com/chat and get on my calendar. I only offer a few of these a week, and it's first come, first serve. All right, back to the podcast.
Waiting for when a thing is done to feel better. I experienced this a lot when I would start a new job. I would believe I would feel better and more confident about going and delivering those first handful of projects, which are always scary because you don't really know what you're doing or the team dynamics or the culture. It's waiting until I've met everyone on my onboarding list and understand enough things about the team. Then I'm going to feel better, and then I'll go and deliver. Again, logically, we know there's some truth to that, but there's also some lies to it. I see this a lot in how we hustle and we work hard and we do crazy things because we believe it'll be better once we've launched the project. Once this thing is launched and out the door, it's going to get better. Then I can take a break. Then I'll enjoy this more. We tell ourselves once this big event has happened and we're past that, then we can focus on spending time on our career development. Once our peak season or holiday season is over, then it won't be so stressful. But here's the trap of that. There's always something else. You will spend your life miserable. There's the cheesy phrase of there's joy in the journey. And I hate that phrase, but there is truth in what it's saying. If you can't find a way to enjoy it along the way, you will arrive miserable, tired, and burned out. That's not just going to magically go away. Why? Because other stressful, big project, hard things are going to continue to come over and over and over again. This is why we constantly have work to do. This is why we constantly get paid, why we have a job. It doesn't end. You have to stop waiting to feel good until tomorrow. Look back at what you've done in this first quarter, okay? What was the thing you were telling yourself it would be better when? Okay? Think about that thing that happened in first quarter. Is it better? It may be less stressful. You might be working less nights and weekends, yeah. But do you actually feel good now? Very rarely does this happen. How you get there is how you are going to be. And the third when trap that is keeping us stuck in our career is waiting for when your manager is going to advocate for you or agree on where your career should go. Here's what this looks like a lot of times. Waiting for your manager to think you're ready for a promotion. Is it easier if your manager agrees? Yeah. Is it required? It's not at all. I had an employee come to me once, convinced they were ready to get promoted, and I was 100% convinced they were not anywhere near ready. They heard my feedback, and they went back and they did all the work, and they wrote a 6-page document, and they brought it to me and gave me all the data and said, here, see, I am ready for a promotion. And guess what? I changed my mind. I was wrong. They were right, but they weren't waiting for me to get on board to go do the work needed to get promoted. They just went and did it. I also see this when we're waiting for our manager to identify or tell us the projects we can work on to get the visibility we want with senior leaders. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's not your manager's job to own your career. They are focused and working on owning their career. We're waiting for our manager to help you identify areas you can keep growing and get better. We're waiting for them to tell us what to do next. We want them to give us the checkbox of our career, but the more you grow and the more senior you get, the less this is going to happen, and the less you should expect your manager to do it, and the less you actually want them to do it. Here's the thing to keep in mind. Your manager, it's one tool in your toolbox of having an amazing, fun, and successful and fulfilling career. Sometimes your manager might be the most helpful, sharp, all-in-one tool that you have, and that's so great and fun. But sometimes your manager might be terrible and not helpful and not the right tool to use at all. Go use the other tools. It's important that you have a diverse set of tools in your career toolbox, and that you remember you own all these tools. You are responsible for the box itself. We want our manager to support us and help us because they can be a helpful tool, but it's not required. So if you're feeling stuck in your career because you're waiting for when, the right time is now. It's today. The right thing to go and do is small, consistent things daily. Find the happiness and joy in the little moments today and find them all the time. This is good news because it's within your control and it's doable. But what you got to know is your brain is your biggest barrier to doing this, because the way your brain is designed, what motivates it is what psychologists refer to as the motivational triad. So at all times, your brain is filtering through these 3 things to try to help protect you and keep you going. It wants you to use the least amount of energy possible. It wants you to feel good right now. And it wants you to avoid things that are potentially dangerous. So your brain by design, this is where I say you got to be managing it and taking care of it and using tools to leverage your brain appropriately, because if not, if you're just going on default and expecting your company to lay out promotion processes and your manager to advocate for you and for things to calm down and not get crazy again after that big launch and for the time to be just right, you will continue waiting because your brain wants to use the least amount of energy possible. So guess what? It doesn't want to go do new things. It wants to feel good right now. So it doesn't want to go have a hard conversation. It doesn't want to have to try to figure out what could I do to get visibility because my manager's out of ideas. It doesn't want to have to feel scared and worried and heaven forbid fail at trying to find a new job or make time to network or push back on that ask for leaders. It doesn't want to have to get creative and think of a way to make it fun today while you're in the stressful launch period. The successful people are the ones who fail the most, but don't play the victim and keep going until they figure it out. They have fun along the way. The most successful people are the ones who have a toolbox full of tools. Their emotional intelligence is their toolbox. They know how to utilize all the systems and processes available to them, but because they're doing it By managing their brain in an emotionally intelligent way, they're able to get the career that they want. They don't play the victim. They don't get stuck because rules are changing, because things are outside of their control. They have the emotional intelligence to manage their brain, learn how to feel scared and worried and failure and disappointed and frustrated, learn how to feel excited and fun and motivated and valued and joyful daily, and they keep showing up. A really great example of this to me was Taylor Swift when she was not nominated for Album of the Year, even though she had the most record sales that year, and she had a lot of reasons to point to why that wasn't fair that she wasn't nominated. And her response was, well, I guess I got to make a better album. And I'm sure she was sad and crushed and angry and mad and all those things, but she didn't play the victim. And she went on to be very successful and to get Album of the Year and to have a world famous tour and to do all sorts of crazy things. Why? Because she has the emotional intelligence to use all the tools in her toolbox. She is not waiting for when. She's not waiting for the right time. She's not waiting for someone else to map it out and figure it out for her. She's not expecting the people around her to do the heavy lifting. And it looks like she has fun along the way. Okay? Make sure you're subscribed because next week I'm going to dive into how do you actually do this in some practical, real ways every day. But I just want you to do a little inventory check over this week. And I just want you to notice, what are the things you're telling yourself, it'll get better when, or I will do this thing when. Okay, what are the when traps you feel like you're stuck in? Just step number one, just take some inventory of it. All right? Okay, you're amazing. You got this. We'll talk soon.
Hey, you didn't schedule a coffee chat yet. Remember, that's the next step. There's so much more I can help you with. You're going to leave this coffee chat knowing a few things you can try right now, depending on your specific situation. This is not a sales call. My goal is simply to help however I can. If I do think coaching can help, I can tell you about it, but I'm currently on a wait list for new clients. Click the link in the show notes or go to lindsaylymancoaching.com/chat to get on my calendar. I only offer a few coffee chats a week and it's first come, first serve, so don't wait. Chat with you soon.